What's up, everybody? Appliance guy Picker back at you with another video. I've been making videos like crazy, so I don't know what order they're going to go on YouTube or what, but I enjoy doing this. So, and people are watching them, not tons, but who cares? It's one person gets something out of these videos, and that's awesome, and it's exactly why I did it. So, I wanted to talk today about experience. Not just experience, but how to make do when you first get started, when you don't have very much experience. I've learned very quickly that experience is the best thing to have. It's really, there's nothing better. You know, you can have, you can be the smartest guy on earth, but you're going to run across things that only experience are going to help you with. So what do you do when you first get started and you've only been doing it, maybe you worked for somebody else for a little while, you got a little training, kind of like I did, but you don't have, 10, 20 years worth of experience, and you're trying to run your own business. Well, let me start off by saying you need to get a few years of training under your belt, at least 2. I felt like when I started my own business, I wasn't quite there yet. I maybe started a little prematurely, jumped the gun a bit, but I made do and I made it happen, and I'm still learning. And I'm still getting experience every day. But, there's nothing that can beat experience. But when you first get started, you're going to run across things quite frequently that you've never seen before. New things. And when you run across these things, some of them will be easily rectified if you have good troubleshooting skills, good diagnostic skills, but then some of them are things that you only learn through experience. And what I do is, when I started my business, I started a network of people. There's a network of people. That includes local techs that I'm friends with, and I've spoke about this before, and I'm going to reiterate it because it's important. Local techs that I'm friends with, that are a phone call away or a text away. That includes Facebook group communities. There's several good ones out there. Appliance Pro Talk, Appliance Technician Group. Those are the two main ones that I go to. And you're going to go on there and you're going to ask questions, and you're going to get some slack from some of the guys. They're going to give you a bunch of crap and say, oh man, that's a rookie question. Yeah, it is a rookie question because you're a rookie. Don't worry about that. Don't let those guys bother you. Those guys, for whatever reason, they think their it don't stink, and they think that, they're God's gift to the appliance world. And maybe they are. I'm sure they're really great technicians. But at the end of the day, you got to get the job done, and you got to figure it out. So number one, you don't have the experience that a 20-year veteran of the trade has. So you got to have that network. And another good part of that network is appliantology. I've spoke about appliantology several times. Appliantology is a great network of techs, and you can go on there. You can go on there and ask questions in the regular forums without even, just as a DIYer. But if you pay for the subscription, it's well worth it. $200, I think it's like $250, $200 a year, and it's well worth it. And that's a great network of techs. Very similar to the Facebook groups, but just a little more intimate and a little more, the guys that are on there, they have to pay to be on there, and they're very helpful. A lot of the guys are very helpful, including Master Samurai and his family. So that's number one, your network. You don't have the experience, but you have a network of people that do have the experience. That if you have a good network like I do, are more than happy to help you when you need help. And then number two, you have this little invention called the internet. The internet puts an ocean of information right at your fingertips. Now, I suggest, this is what I personally suggest, before you go hitting up the network, before you go bothering other people, you do your own research. You do everything within your power to get the answer on your own and find it. Don't be lazy. That's one thing that I did when I first started. I was kind of lazy. I would just call my buddy and say, hey man, and I still do this from time to time if I run into something that I can't figure out, something off the wall. But the right thing to do, and what I try to do now, is do the research myself. And really, if you have good troubleshooting and diagnostic skills, and you know how to read a schematic, and you know how to use a multimeter. If you're going out there and you don't know how to use a multimeter properly and don't know how to test resistance and check for voltage and check amps and do all that good stuff that you should learn in the very beginning of your training, then really you don't got no business having a company. But if you have good troubleshooting and diagnostic skills and you know how to troubleshoot and diagnose, there's not a whole lot out there that you can't figure out yourself. Now, it may take you a little while. It may take you longer than normal, but you should be able to figure it out. But that network and that, that sea of information out there called the internet is a great tool for you. And that experience is going to come only with time. Experience is one thing that you can't buy, you can't teach, you can't get it any way other than going through it. And I've gotten a lot of experience pretty quickly in the years that I've been doing it. Not been doing it that long, but I learn something new every week. Sometimes I learn something new every day. But definitely, like I said in previous videos, dude, it is hot as balls in here. Kicked his AC off. Heat off. But like I've said before, if you're in this for the long haul and you're in this to make a business, you have to immerse yourself. And I've said this before, time and time again. You have to immerse yourself in this business. You don't get to go home and kick back and chill. You got to be learning. You got to be watching. You got to be doing the things that you got to do. You got to be pre-tripping. That's what your job is. That's part of your job. You're not finished. If you're the business owner or a reputable technician, your job is not over when you get home. You've got to put the time in, especially if you don't have the experience. And I like to end this video talking about this. There's a time, if you watched any of the Samurai's videos, he talks a lot about pattern recognition. There's a time and a place for pattern recognition. And pattern recognition is something that comes with experience. And there's nothing wrong with pattern recognition. But when you solely depend on pattern recognition and you don't do the proper troubleshooting to assure yourself that this problem that it's always been this problem, and so you go out on a call and you see something and you're like, oh yeah, it's all, I've seen this with this machine before, it's always this. Now, there's certain times when, yeah, that's absolutely okay. But there's certain times when you need to, confirm your pattern recognition with some very simplistic troubleshooting and diagnosis. Because what's going to happen is you're going to go out, you're going to say, oh yeah, I've seen this before, it's always this. So you're going to either you're going to have this on your truck and you're just going to go grab it and put it on and it's not going to fix it. And you're going to be like, oh, well damn, it's always fixed it before. And then what you going to do? So I suggest a nice mixture of pattern recognition and troubleshooting and diagnostics, because I've been burnt more than once going out and saying, oh yeah, I've seen this before. Go out and grab whatever this is, and then you put it on and it doesn't fix it. And then you're just really just a part changing monkey, and you're not doing your job, which is troubleshooting and diagnosing. So that experience is priceless. But don't let your experience, once you have that experience, don't let that experience become paramount to troubleshooting and diagnostics, because you will get burnt, especially if you have to go get a part. If you have to go get a part or order a part, then you need to make 100% sure that that part is what you need. Because there's nothing that upsets a customer more than you go get a part and you come back and it doesn't fix it. I've done it plenty of times. Trust me. So don't let your experience, once you have it, supersede, I think that's the right word, supersede troubleshooting and diagnostics. You know, if you go out on a Samsung front load washer and the customer's complaint that it's really noisy, and you go in there and you shake the basket and it's super loose, and then you check their drain pump and it's full of little bits of spider support, yeah, you don't really need to do any troubleshooting or diagnostics in that case. You know what it is. So you have to know when you need to dig a little deeper and when not to. And that comes with experience. So hopefully this video will help somebody. But if you don't have the experience, then you gotta be willing to put in the work to get the answers. And don't just, like I said before, don't just call somebody or post it on Facebook and expect other people to give the answers to you. That should be your last resort. Unless you have somebody. I have a buddy that helped me start my business, and he's pretty cool about me calling him anytime. And a lot of times what I'll do, since I still consider myself fairly new to the business, even though I've been in it a couple years, as far as running my own business, a lot of times when I'm on something and I just feel a little uncertain or whatever, I'll give my buddy a call and run past him what I've done, what my troubleshooting and diagnostics were, and the conclusion I reached. And 9 times out of 10, he's like, yeah, man, you're spot on. So, but then every once in a while, I will call him and run my diagnostics by him or my troubleshooting, and he'll be like, yeah, I don't think so. Check this, that, and the other. And sometimes he's right, sometimes I'm right. So, it's one of those things. But it doesn't hurt to have that network of, what in God's green earth are these people doing? It doesn't hurt to have that network of technicians and that support, through people that you know and trust. And like I said before, I've got an LG guy, I've got a Samsung guy, I've got a Whirlpool guy, I've got friends in the industry that have technical support. I don't have technical support from any of the manufacturers personally, but I have friends that do. And they're more than happy to help me. And they're more than happy to share knowledge with me. So, hope this helps. Hopefully you guys are getting a network put together. And I really appreciate the likes and comments and subscriptions. It's awesome that the information that I'm giving is helpful to anybody. I'm just one opinion in a sea of opinions. But what I have done is worked for me, so always room for improvement and always plenty of room for critique if anybody has any. I don't get offended easily, so if people have critique of what I'm doing or say, oh yeah, that's stupid, I'm more than happy to listen, as long as it's constructive. I'm looking for an address. There it is. Over here in the city of Richmond. I love the city. Don't want to live in it. I live in the suburbs. But I love coming into the city. I'll do a lot of work in the city. But, yep, that's it, guys. Hope you guys have an awesome day. Catch you guys on the next one. And like it, comment it, and subscribe it. Later.